Hello and welcome all friends and devotees of yoga and Buddhist meditation. Today is Tuesday, June the 18th, 2019, and I'll be concluding my lectures on the treasures of Venerable Master Hsing Yun. Venerable Master Hsing Yun, for those of you who are new to my online lectures, Master Hsing Yun is the founder of Fo Guangsheng. Fo Guangsheng is the largest Chinese Buddhist organization in the world, and one of the very largest Buddhist organizations in the world. And it's a very active organization. They've been all through the world. Master Hsing Yun himself being a giant exponent, a giant teacher and master of humanistic Buddhism. Okay, this organization has helped establish hundreds of temples, universities, several universities all over the world, and Fo Guangsheng was also instrumental to bringing Buddhism to Africa. So we are very fortunate to be among the first Africans who have been so privileged to be able to pick up the teachings of Buddha. Okay, so this is all a result of the great effort of Venerable Master Hsing Yun to make the teachings of Buddhism available to the whole world. He has really spent a very great effort to see that Buddhism reaches out to every end of the earth, and so that those who have been called, those who have a great attraction to this beautiful teaching, may avail themselves of the opportunity they have at this time. So I'm going to conclude the treasures that Master Hsing Yun has made available to us. The treasure of wisdom. In conducting ourselves, Master Hsing Yun writes, in conducting ourselves, we accommodate circumstances without changing our principles. In other words, we should not merely go with the flow. We should not merely go with the flow, as we also need to adhere to our principles and not alter them in the face of changing circumstances. The following are 4 principles we should keep. So here Master Hsing Yun is giving us his treasures. He's giving us his, what I call the oracle of Master Hsing Yun. It's a body of great wisdom. The most profound wisdom I've really run into in life. And so simple, yet very profound. So students, what I want you guys to do, particularly Nigerian students who see these my teachings and are attracted to try to learn and benefit from the enormous wisdom of the Buddha. You see, the wisdom, let me tell you something. Let's go straight to the point. The wisdom of the Buddha is so good. The reason why it is so good is because, see, Buddha himself was a school, an ancient school. The wisdom of the Buddha gives you discipline. The reason why many things in life don't work out well for people is because of sheer indiscipline. The problem human beings have is, I'll use 2 terms to describe it: sheer indiscipline, which is the same thing as lack of training. Similar to each other, these 2 terms. Discipline. Sheer indiscipline. That's the problem of the whole world. That humans are indisciplined, no discipline, can't behave correctly, or they are lacking the training that is needed to deal with a certain aspect or phase of life. So people lack training a lot. They don't want to. And it still takes discipline to take the training. So when human beings become very mindful of this, of the Buddha, in fact, the Buddha is he who is disciplined, perfectly trained. This is the whole point. See, that's why when the Buddha was teaching people, you all have Buddha nature. You all have Buddha nature. Jesus Christ says in the Bible, John chapter 10, verse 34, you all are gods. But what kind of gods are these? Indisciplined gods. The disgrace to Godhead. What kind of gods are these? So you are supposed to be princes and princesses of God himself. Right? You are gods. Jesus Christ told them, John chapter 10, verse 34. But these are just indisciplined gods. Gods without training. Gods that don't know how to be gods. So, inferior ones. The problem human beings have is indiscipline. Human beings are not well trained to live like human beings. So, they can't live like human beings. So, they live unlike human beings. Okay? So when people really want to come back to the point, in this life, these lectures I'm giving you, for instance, are so important to you because this is discipline. You pay attentive ear, you listen, you pick points, you take it seriously because this is discipline. It's training. You pick the points of wisdom, you go into your mind, you are serious, you apply them seriously to your life, and of course, you see the result immediately. It's discipline. If you discipline yourself, you will see success. You will walk on the path of success, you will achieve the success. There is nothing standing between you and success. Only your own indiscipline is your obstacle to success. So once you remove indiscipline from your path, and you hold onto your discipline, you will achieve your goals because there is nothing else. There is no obstacle to the goal anyway. Do you understand? So, for the student, it's good to learn. Discipline is the key. Anything you want in this life, always ensure, be mindful, be sure you have the discipline to achieve it. If you have the discipline, you can achieve anything you want to achieve in this world. If you don't have the discipline, then you have set the obstacle for your own downfall. Okay? So what the intelligent minds, the Buddha minds, what you need to do is to avoid indiscipline. Practice discipline. Avoid indiscipline. And you can achieve anything you want to achieve in life. Okay? By discipline. Okay? So that's the key. Now Master Hsing-Yun is unveiling us the golden treasures. Courtesy is the foundation for handling people. Courtesy is the foundation for handling people and situations. It is the guideline for human relationships and the benchmark for ethical conduct. When we behave courteously, it is easier for us to maintain appropriate and harmonious relationships. Therefore, courtesy is the basic condition in getting along with others. And it must be cultivated from a young age. From our parents and teachers, we learn the proper manners between old and young, senior and junior. Having courtesy, we should always abide by these manners so as not to err in dealing with people and situations. That's discipline again. Very important. Courtesy. Learn how to treat people. Human beings are gods. So once you know that human beings are gods, you treat human beings like gods. That's courtesy. Right? It just comes from knowledge. And then you get everything that you want. Because you treat human beings well. If you treat human beings like the gods that they are, you get everything that you want. If you can't treat human beings like gods, then you offend the gods, and then you don't get anything in life. Every blessing, every money, every dollar, everything, every good thing in this life that you are going to get is going to come through what? Human beings. That's why Jesus Christ told them, John chapter 10, verse 34, you are what? Gods, the creators of the world. Everything good, just a matter of people are not contemplating. Every good thing you are going to get in this world is going to come from somebody. Somebody. Are they looking for God? Every human being you see around you is God. What's so difficult? Jesus Christ told them in the Beatitudes, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Why are they blind? Because their hearts are impure. They refuse to have faith. They became faithless. So when they lost the faith in the heart, all the gods surround them with all the treasures that they want, and they have none of it because they blinded themselves by refusing to have faith. Right? The Beatitudes. Right? Blessed are the pure in heart. When your heart becomes pure without obstacle, you shall see that man, everybody in this world is God. It means your heart is perfectly pure. You have attained purity. That's what Jesus Christ said. The Beatitudes. Blessed are the pure in heart. Go and purify your heart, and you will see God. Every human being that stands before you is God. Everything you will get in this life, you will get from the person standing right next to you. So you should have faith. And then you should do the right things. Master St. Jung is saying to have courtesy. Treat people well. The people are the gods. You are not going to get golds and diamonds falling from the skies from heaven. It's going to come from somebody. That person is the God that delivers the gold and the diamonds. We are blessed through human beings. Human beings are God. The Bible's made very clear so. God created man in his image and likeness. He breathed his spirit, not the spirit of a rat, not the spirit of a cockroach. He breathed his own spirit into man. So what is man? God. Absolutely. Man cannot exist except he is perfectly God. Man cannot be any other thing other than God. So the only thing is our indiscipline, actually. Because faith, again, is a kind of discipline. So when a person is faithless and a person refuses to believe and refuses to understand, that is a kind of indiscipline. And then that indiscipline, the refusal to understand what is clear in black and white, sets the obstacle to a person's downfall. So I can't understand that the human being that stands next to me is God, and I should be courteous to the person. That's again indiscipline. So I'm arrogant, rude to the God that stands next to me, and then I want money. How am I going to get the money? It comes through the person. All the problems in this world were created. Actually, there's a proverb. There's a proverb from... I'm an African teacher of Buddhism, mind you. So my Africanness and what I've heard from my grandfather and great-grandmother is going to, of course, come into my Buddhist teachings. Of course. My Africanness must come in. And the African proverb says that all the problems of this world and all the troubles of life are the problems and the troubles that human beings themselves have created for themselves. So when the human beings decide that they no longer want troubles and problems in life, the troubles and problems in life are over. This was the wise word of my great-grandfather. My mother always quotes that word. I heard that right from the time I was young. Her granddad, which was my great-grandfather. Okay, we are one. The troubles and the woes and the problems of life was created by human beings for themselves. So once I decide I've had enough and I don't want any, I want a life of peace, no more troubles and problems it's over because it's not there. Human beings by themselves, when you look at them and all their nonsense activities, they are the ones who have created problems and troubles for themselves. There are no troubles in this world at all. There are no problems in this world at all. There is perfect peace and happiness and joy and success and all good and beauty. That's all that is in the world. Anything other than that comes from the indiscipline of the human beings. And then they are the causes of their woes and their troubles. This was the wise saying of my great-grandfather. Was a huge sage. Okay? So these are the words of the ancestors. So the troubles of this earth, people who are having troubles of the earth, you are the creators of your troubles. People who cannot live a life of perfect peace, you are the obstacles to your perfect peace. You are the creators of your troubles, and you are the creators of your woes, and you are the creator of all the problems you have in life. You are all the creators of it. This is the saying. And it perfectly agrees with what Master Hsing Yun is saying here. So the first golden point that Master Hsing Yun made here is courtesy. Why can a person not be courteous? What does it take to be courteous to your neighbor? Why can I not smile to my neighbor? What's the problem? You can't smile, you can't courtesy. It's not. Why should courtesy not be there? It's indiscipline. And that indiscipline is the first problem that you have created and the first obstacle you have laid on your path to set your downfall for yourself. And then when you stumble and you fall by your own creation, you can't say anybody else did it. That was your indiscipline. You were not courteous to your neighbor. If you had discipline, you would have remembered the teaching says, be courteous. Your neighbor is important. So you'd have treated the human beings with courtesy, and then your way would have been smooth. That means you have discipline. It takes discipline to embrace wisdom. And if you have the discipline to embrace wisdom, your path is smooth to success. There's no obstacle else. Make sense? Write it down. And I'm going to the second point. Righteousness is the prescription for dealing with people. Master Hsing Yun warns, second golden treasure. The Chinese character for righteous shares the same root with beauty and kindness. As such, the beauty and kindness manifested by the self is righteous. Confucius said, righteousness is the mark of a gentleman. Those who are righteous will only accept material gain when it is right to do so. Moreover, in dealing with people and situations, they will always lend a helping hand. They will always lend a helping hand, not refuse a promise or refute a promise they have made, and not shy away from the call to duty. Okay? So they will not avoid a promise they have made, and they will not shy away from the call to duty. Therefore, righteousness is the prescription for dealing with people. Those who lack this quality will have difficulty with friendships. We need to be righteous in order to be noble. Okay? So Master Hsing Yun has given you the second golden treasure again. Right? We are not pigs, we are not swines. When you have treasures, you value treasures. Human beings are intelligent. They know the difference between gold and mud. A swine, a pig, does not know the difference between gold and mud. See, remember the Bible? Remember what Jesus Christ said? Do not throw your treasures to them. They'll trample down upon it and turn it to the dust. It's in your Bible, right? All of this is what you call wisdom. And wisdom comes to the disciplined. A human being who has value for learning and training and discipline will be wise and will walk wisely. It takes discipline to walk wisely. Okay? So cultivate discipline. Be mindful of discipline. And then you will, of course, be wise. You will live wisely. You will use time wisely. And you will be very successful. So the third point, the third treasure, golden treasure from Venerable Master Hsing Yun. Integrity. Integrity is the way to face the world. People with integrity are upright in character. Officials with integrity know how to care for and love their citizens. And people with integrity have self-respect. Self-respect. Okay? In facing the world with integrity, we will not be greedy. Without greed, we will not be enticed by profit. or commit any deeds that may harm our character or hurt society and humanity. Therefore, integrity is the way to face the world. All of this is discipline. Just different terms of describing the same training that you must have. Everything is a training, a discipline. So the fourth one, golden treasure from Venerable Master Hsing Yun. A sense of shame is the secret to cultivation. A person with a sense of shame is humble and repentant. A person without a sense of shame is like a tree without bark. While having a sense of shame is like being dressed in beautiful garments. This quality differentiates humans from animals because without it, a person will commit evil deeds and lose his or her human nature, becoming indistinguishable from animals. So as humans, we need to know shame. As humans, we need to know shame. We should be ashamed of what we do not know. The skills that we do not have, and all that is impure in ourselves. Because a person without a sense of shame can never improve or succeed. Therefore, knowing shame is as good as having courage. When there is a sense of shame, a person can certainly accomplish great things. Okay? And then Master Hsing Yun proceeds to summarize for us all the brilliant treasures, golden treasures he has given us since the beginning of this course. In conducting ourselves, we need to be ordinary as well as extraordinary. That seems like where we started from. Okay? Ordinary as well as extra. Because that's what we are. We are man and then we are God. We are ordinary and then we are extraordinary. Then human beings, because they are indisciplined, they don't want to cultivate discipline at all. They want to live like swines and pigs. So they reject the godhood. They say, no, we are man, we are not God. Because they don't want to train. A person with training starts the training. The Buddha says to us, you have Buddha nature. Why don't you awake and develop your Buddha nature until you become enlightened? Okay, so they cast away. They just want to live like swines and pigs and hogs. So for the rest of life, they live like hogs and pigs and swines. Because that's their delight. So you can have your delight, right? In conducting ourselves, we need to be ordinary as well as extraordinary. By being ordinary, we should be affable and humble. By being extraordinary, we have to be very clear about our ethics, our character, our sense of righteousness, our gains, successes, and failures, as well as what we can and cannot do. Okay? This is important. This is Master Hsing Yun's summary and golden treasures for our contemplation. And as you live in peace, you go quietly, sit down, and you reflect and you meditate upon the treasures from the Buddha. And I promise you, you will gain a beautiful understanding. Because the Buddha is not without understanding. Do not be your own enemy. Do not be your own downfall. Do not lay the stone in front of you that will thwart you and make you to fall. When the teachings are taught, embrace the teachings with discipline. When the wisdom is instructed, take the wisdom and use it, and you will prosper. Everything is in writing. Everything has been written. It has been said. You've heard me saying it. Right? It has been instructed. So when you listen to these teachings and then your heart begins to doubt and then you begin not to apply the teachings, you have become the obstacle to your success. You are supposed to take instruction. You are supposed to have enough discipline to be able to embrace wisdom and follow wisdom. And once you follow wisdom and you live your life wisely, you will succeed. When you begin to cultivate doubt, you see, you spend your time building doubt instead of living with faith. You spend your days going astray, walking into the bush instead of walking on the road. Then you will fail because you have gone away. See, when a person hears these brilliant teachings, these golden treasures we've brought, we expect the student to develop discipline. So we expect the student to take these treasures, jot down the points. Oh, these are the nice things. Okay, I didn't know this, I didn't know that, and then begin to develop. You are like building a skyscraper. That's discipline. When the person sees the good things of life and the treasures and the wisdom, and then the person starts cultivating doubt instead, that is a fool. Those are the swines that we're talking about. Those are the pigs and the hogs and the swines that will drown in the mud. So leave them, let them wallow in the mud of their doubts. These are the things. An intelligent mind sees wisdom and takes wisdom for himself. Call it selfishness, for his own selfishness. Wisdom is wisdom. You can't change it. You can take it and use it to benefit and get yourself on the right track to success. This is what we expect students to do. You pick something of value. Master Singing has brought out treasures, golden treasures. You pick it and you use it to develop yourself. That's why Jesus Christ said, you are what? Gods. John chapter 10 verse 34. Because Jesus Christ expects you to cultivate. That's what the Buddha calls cultivating your Buddha nature. It's all consistent. But once you do otherwise, you don't have the training, you rejected the training, you refuse to train yourself, then you become the swines. You live in your doubts and live in the dark and wallow in the mud. The swines have a nice time in the mud, I assure you. They spend time, drinking dirty water and, rubbing them. Have you seen swines? Pigs. They wallow. They spend time like hogs. They spend time all in the dirt, the mud. But there's more to life than just wallowing in the mud. So for brilliant minds, we expect brilliant minds. This is wisdom. It's not my wisdom. Master Singing has studied enough Buddhism to be able to tap a lot of these and compose a lot of these and bring you treasures. Here are the treasures. It's a saint. It's a very brilliant, enlightened Buddha. And he spends time and brings you the treasures. Here are the treasures. So a smart person, what we expect the smart people to do is, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. You take up these things and you go into your study. You go into your study and you reflect and you meditate upon these profound sayings. And in reflecting and meditating upon profound sayings, it's not to cultivate doubts. Your cultivation of doubts, what does it do to the Buddha? Nothing. So when you are in doubt, you are destroying yourself. Your doubts has no effect upon the Buddha at all. You see, so that's why the brilliant student should not dwell in doubt. Dwelling in doubt is like taking the mud from the swine and baptizing yourself with the mud and becoming the swine. That's the meaning of doubt. It has nothing to do with the Buddha, because the Buddha is radiating in enlightenment. Then Master Singyo has stepped up. Then I have stepped up because I have embraced the teachings and passed it on to you. So you tell the smart student should be a student who should be able to take those teachings and then get the enlightenment. Go into the light. Get away from the swines and the hogs, because they wallow in the mud and they enjoy the mud and they will perish in the mud. But not you who are enlightened. You have to take the light and move. Go up. Ascend with the light. Okay? So these are the instructions for the wise. and a word is enough for the wise, because I know very well that you are going to go into your study and contemplate. Namo Amitofo.